Episode 13. The Sabbath is not a shadow. It's the signature of the Creator. If the Sabbath is just a shadow, why did God carve it into stone? Many Christians wrongly argue that the Sabbath was just a shadow pointing to Christ and therefore has no place in the New Covenant. But that's a misunderstanding of both Scripture and the very nature of the Sabbath. Yes, the Bible talks about shadows, ceremonial feasts, sacrifices, rituals, but the Sabbath is not in that category. Let no man therefore judge you in meat, or in drink, or in respect of a holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days, which are a shadow of things to come. Colossians 2:16-17. What Paul refers to here is not the seventh-day Sabbath of the Ten Commandments, but the annual Sabbaths of the ceremonial law, Leviticus 23, which were part of the law of Moses, not the law of God's finger. There are two kinds of Sabbaths in the Bible: ceremonial Sabbaths, yearly or tied to festivals, written by Moses in a book, tied to food, drink, sacrifices, shadows of Christ's work, abolished at the cross, Colossians 2:14. The weekly Sabbath, the seventh day, written by God in stone, blessed and sanctified at creation, Genesis 2:2-3, part of the Ten Commandments, eternal, unchanging, moral law. 7. Ironclad questions to dismantle the shadow. Argument. Why did God write the Sabbath command in stone if it was temporary? If the Sabbath was a shadow, why did it exist before sin in Eden? Can you find one verse that calls the seventh-day Sabbath a shadow? How can a commandment from the moral law be grouped with ritual ordinances? If Jesus said he was Lord of the Sabbath, why would he abolish it? If Revelation 14:7 tells us to worship the Creator and the Sabbath is the sign of creation, why throw it away? Why does the Bible say the Sabbath is a sign forever, Exodus 31:16-17, if it ended at the cross? The Sabbath is God's signature, not a symbol. The Sabbath is the seal of God's law. It's the only commandment that reveals God's name, the Lord your God, declares his title, Creator, states his territory, heaven and earth. Just like a legal seal, it proves who the lawgiver is. To remove it is to erase the author. Moreover also I gave them my Sabbaths, to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord that sanctify them. Ezekiel 20:12. This isn't a shadow, it's a signature, bold, divine, eternal. Shadow versus substance. Yes, animal sacrifices were shadows. Yes, feast days pointed forward to Christ. But the Sabbath doesn't point to a temporary event. It points to an eternal truth. God is Creator, and we are His. Final thought. You can call it a shadow, but the facts say otherwise. The seventh-day Sabbath was established before sin, inscribed by God's own hand, included in the Ten Commandments, kept by Christ and His apostles, prophesied in the new earth. No shadow lasts from Eden to eternity. The Sabbath is not ceremonial, it's not Jewish, it's not obsolete. It is, and always has been, God's eternal signature on time. So ask yourself, if God signed His law with the Sabbath, who are we to erase His name?